So, I just wanted to make a quick video about what's going on with the government and the police and all the MPs about this issue here. So, this is the reply I got from one of my local MPs. I guess he might be my local MP now, but it changes all the time. They change the districts all the time, so I don't even know who my local MP is anymore, to be honest. But as you can see, oh wait there. As you can see, it says, "Dear James, I am writing further to your emails, most recently of the 8th of November, where you raised concerns around crime against men and the actions of the government on this matter." You see that first line there, don't you? You all see this first line. Now, if we go to the email on the 8th of December, right, which is here, right? There it is. Let's make it bigger. There you go. "Dear Sir, Madams, I am writing to you all concerning an ongoing matter that has not been dealt with, which is of the highest severity and essential to maintaining justice in the United Kingdom." And it is. It is. If the police can come arrest me for a crime I was actually the victim of, and then ignore all the evidence that proves I'm innocent just because they don't want to admit their mistake, they can do it to you. They can do that to you. They can arrest you for shoplifting, even though you didn't shoplift. They can arrest a woman for being a prostitute, even though she's never been paid for sex, and then charge her because they feel like it. This is the lawlessness that arrives if you allow this sort of shit to go on. So, as I said, this is a copy of a Facebook post by Mr. James William Pope. That was so MPs were aware that everyone in the world could find out about this if they want to, and what they've done. Right? That was so they checked it, right? "Who previously wrote to you regarding installing a minister to reduce violence against men and boys." You see there? Men and boys, right? Men and boys. But let's go back to his response. Oh, would you look at that? He only mentions crimes against men. He doesn't mention violence against boys or crimes against boys. So he's only talking about half the problem here. Like, you in the government literally have had a minister to reduce violence against girls and women for 10 years because women suffer disproportionately more sexual violent crimes than men. But men and boys suffer far more violence than women. Even from a boy, as a boy, you get hit around the head just for talking when someone didn't want you to talk. Like, come on, this isn't what. Imagine I write to the government to be like, "Oh, I want you to install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys because you've had one to reduce violence against girls and women for 10 years, and so you're in breach of the Equality Act and it's discrimination against men. The government is committing a crime of discrimination and it's in breach of its own 2010 Equality Act, although it's been updated since, I think. So when I write to you, telling you that you're in this situation of committing discrimination and all MPs are liable for not giving a fuck about the suffering of men. So then I write to you about installing a minister to reduce violence against men and boys, and your reply doesn't even include the boys part. It doesn't even include the boys part. Now maybe it's just because you're ignorant, or maybe because you're the Labour Party, you can't admit that crimes are committed against boys in this country because you're afraid of the truth. Even though we already know carers beat up autistic children and carers often abuse children. Teachers have hit children. I've seen teachers hit children. I've been hit by an adult. I've been hit by an adult as a child many times. So you don't care about the suffering of children. And you don't want to admit that those children suffer violent crimes. Or you're just being negligent. Now, I did thank you for the reply, Mr. Mark Ferguson. I do thank you for taking the time to reply, but this is too serious to be taken lightly, and you have taken this very lightly. Now, let's carry on. As you know, I have previously raised this with the government. No, I don't know. I don't know that you've previously raised this with the government. The government has never got in touch with me and says, "Look, James, we know you're trying to install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys, and we think it's a good thing, and we do care about violence against men and boys." No. This is the first letter I've had in correspondence to it. I asked you all twice now. 650 MPs have been asked twice over a period of 9 months to install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys. And this is the only letter I have got about it. And you ignore the part where it's about boys. And you say you've raised this with the government. I don't believe you. I've seen no evidence for that. And the government has reassured you that they take very seriously violence of all kinds. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you took violence of all kinds very seriously, why don't you investigate lifelong injuries given to mentally disabled people by police forces during mental health detainments? It's because you see violently attacking mentally disabled people as reasonable. But it's reasonable to use reasonable force. It's not reasonable to give them lifelong injuries. You, the British government, and specifically Northumbria Police, because they gave me 3 lifelong injuries during mental health detainments, give mentally disabled people lifelong injuries. You have to compensate them. You have to try and give them physiotherapy to fix the problem. You have to fix the injuries you've given to these innocent human beings that you have taken all their rights off. You can't claim these mentally disabled people are to blame for themselves are to blame for being injured when the police are the ones who came out and injured them. And you've removed all their human rights. They literally have no legal right for the injuries to be classed as their own fault. The legal right of blame is the people who caused the injury, the police. They have to pay for them. If the police come out and break your leg just because you're mentally disabled and ran you over with a car, they have to pay you. If the police come out and injure your neck during a mental health detainment because they didn't have the strength to throw you to the ground and just fucked your neck instead, they have to pay you. If they give you a disfigurement because they didn't have the strength to get you in the cuffs, they have to pay you. Like if they pull your arm out of your socket and then don't put it back in right, so you're in pain for the rest of your life, they have to pay you. That's not reasonable. It would be reasonable if I had committed a crime. But you can't treat a mentally disabled person the same as a criminal. You fucking wankers. So anyway, where we at? And I've received assurances that they continue to take violence of all kinds incredibly seriously. No, you don't. That is a lie. That's a lie. You just don't take it seriously. You have nothing further to add to this regarding the beyond position I have previously set out. Yeah, don't worry. I've got plenty to add for you, Mark. If you have specific examples of specific complaints you have made to the relevant authorities which remain unanswered, I would be happy to raise them accordingly if you could provide me with the relevant dates and reference numbers. Right, so that's what he says at the bottom of the letter there, you see? Okay? So this is the email that Mark Ferguson received. And as you can see here, due to a failure in policing in 2014, Northumberland Police, literally, I give the example here. It's written here. Everything he asked for at the end of the letter here, if you would give me the relevant dates, although the reference numbers aren't here, granted, I don't have the reference numbers. And if I asked for them, the police could give me 20 different ones. They could give me one that doesn't even relate to this to try and hide it. You, as an MP, Mark, need to investigate this and deal with it and resolve it. You don't send me a letter asking for the evidence. I have already sent you. This was sent, as you can see on the date here, on the 8th, Saturday the 8th, at 24 minutes past 9, right? Here is the case in question. Here is the evidence he's asking me to send him. He's asking me to send him something I've already sent him. He also ignored the fact that boys are included against men and boys. But as you can clearly see here, the Labour Party only mention violence against men. You lot in this, like, Mark, sort this out, man. Sort this fucking out. How come I've literally give you the evidence and the dates, and you've emailed me asking for the evidence and the dates? How inept are you politicians? How incapable is the Labour Party? It's unbelievable. I'm tagging your party in this, posting it online. It's going on YouTube. You're incapable. You're all incapable. So I will socially shame every politician until this matter is resolved. You are all being implicated into negligence in a public office until you deal with it. I don't think you understand the seriousness of this. Fuck!